1988 Lamborghini Countach 25th anniversary star in VR. Hello there everybody and welcome to OpenFed Gaming and a very special race in a 1988 Lamborghini Countach. We're driving in a historic sports car masters race at the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, I apologize for that. We're doing 3 laps. We start as 16th of 16 cars and we start with a rolling start. Now I've driven this track a few times and it's a pretty nice track to drive, especially with the straight sections like right here, where you can really open up the Lamborghini and show the speed that he's got. And at the same time, when you get to these corners, it shows you how much you got to slow down to be able to keep this car under control, because he's got lots of power. But he's a little bit iffier in the corners because you got so much power you tend to give it a little bit too much, and then sometimes you spin a little bit and your back end of your car might move a little. So you got to be aware of that. So slow down for the corners. You got lots of time. You got 3 laps and they're fairly long. So it's going to take a little bit of time to finish this race, but that's okay. Part of the game. We love this race. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, like normal, the OpenFed doesn't count the cars he passes because he just races and he just absolutely loves racing these cars through tracks like this, especially when they flow as nice as this one does. But he does keep track of the laps that he runs, which is a little bit easier to do, and I understand that, but I always forget. But you know, if you keep passing cars and you're doing good, then when you get near the end of the race, you know, most of the time you're in the front somewhere, and you can see whether you're the last car or not. Because the cars that are in the front that are winning at the moment are a little bit harder to pass, because the ones that you get right away are the slower ones. So we're just gonna keep racing, put the pedal to the metal as we're sitting in this white knight Lamborghini. Boy, I tell you, she looks absolutely gorgeous inside. What a nice looking car. Lots of power. Handling, like I said, on the straight sections really good. On the corners, well, maybe not quite as good. But we got a few other Lamborghinis in this particular race. I believe that green one right in front of us is a Lamborghini, and there's another white one too in this race. So it makes for interesting racing against the same type of cars. Anyhow, as we're coming around this corner, you got to really slow down and really take your time. Otherwise you'll overshoot like he just did right there. And that didn't help him any. It helped us a little bit because we ended up getting in front of him. So we're starting into our second lap and we are stuck behind this little Lancia for the time being as we come around the corner, but that's okay because as soon as we get around the corner, the Lancia is more of a rally car than a race car. I'm not sure, but he was no threat to the OpenFed. So as we're ripping along the corner here, it's not going to take us long to get this second lap done, but we got that nice straight section coming up here, and I just love opening it up and just let it go, show you the power that this car really has. Then of course when you get near the end of this straight, you got to hammer on the brakes to be able to slow down in time. Otherwise you know you're going to overshoot it, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to slow right down, cruise through this corner, and every time when you come out of the corner we try to hammer down again, but it doesn't pick up speed quite as quickly as I'd like it to do, but that's okay. Now coming around this here corner, I would imagine I think we're about halfway through this second lap, and well, there's one more car there in front of us for sure. So I'm not sure how many more, but I'm sure there's a few more. It's highly unlikely that we're at the front of the pack already. I don't think that's possible, not in a lap and a half. You're not going to pass 15 cars that quickly. And as we're coming around the corner here, we're going to maybe be able to see a little bit more room to see if there's anybody in front of that white car. Now that might be the white Lamborghini that I was talking about. Yeah, see, there's another one in front of him, and that's okay because we're going to catch them. They're not going to hide from the OpenFed for long. Yeah, I do believe that this next car that we're catching up to is the white Lamborghini. Our evil twin, as they would say. But we're going to put him behind us as soon as we can. But first we got to catch up to him, because you can't pass him if you're not right behind him. And I always like to be fairly close behind him, not tailgating him, but fairly close behind him, so that when you come around a corner or a straight section, all of a sudden appears that you have the power to get by him. Now he's probably got the same power that I got, but maybe the driver is not as good as the Opafet. Although he is still in front of me, and I haven't been able to get by him yet, but that's okay. We're coming near the end of our second lap, and we're going to go through that tight little S-curve where you got to slow right down, just like that. And now we're going to try and hammer down and get by this guy, but he doesn't seem like he wants us to pass him. Well, that's okay. We're going to do it anyways. This is absolutely awesome driving this car in VR. It is such a nice car to drive, especially like I said in the straight sections. Now we are now in the third lap, and I'm pretty sure that this car in front of us is the lead car, because it doesn't look like there's anybody in front of that. But we're going to come up to this straight here in a second, and we'll be able to see a little bit further down the track. And then, yeah, see, it looks pretty clear to me. Well, we might as well hammer down and get by this guy, because by the time we catch up to him and get by him, we're going to be pretty close to halfway through the lap already. Well, not quite, but we're getting there. So now, just in case, because we don't know for sure if he was the lead car, just in case, you cannot let up. You got to keep going, but you got to make sure you keep it on the track. Don't run off the track even for a second, because if you run off and you can't get back in time, that car that we just passed will pass you, and then you're never going to catch up to him again, because we're getting too close to the end of the race now. So as long as we don't see anybody in front of us, we're thinking we're the number one car. But like I said, we can't let up, so we're going to keep ripping until we see the checkered flag. Well, I tell you, this is just an absolutely awesome race to drive. If you ever have the opportunity to drive in Gran Turismo in VR, take it. If you know of somebody that's got a headset and you're not sure whether you would like it or not, or whether it would make you nauseous, I tell you, I was worried about it making me nauseous, and it does in some games, but in a driving game, you're looking straight ahead, and it's very natural. You don't feel anything as far as nauseousness in your stomach or in your head or whatever. It just feels like you're driving Lamborghini, which is absolutely fantastic. And all the cars that are in the game, doesn't matter which one you pick, it all feels like you're actually sitting in the driver's seat driving it. So it's a little bit of money to invest in a headset, but it's well worth it if you enjoy these kinds of races. Now we're coming up almost to the end of the lap here, and I hope you enjoyed this race and maybe picked up a couple of tips, and hope to see you back at Opafet Gaming again real soon. Until then, you've been driving in a 1988 Lamborghini with the Opafet.